Some of you may not know what this is because some of you may not partake. But for those who do know, this episode is about cruising. Yes, cruising. One of the things that's been going on in our community for decades, and something some of us rather enjoy. I can say I'm one of those people who has had a lot of great experiences while cruising. Some interesting things, some interesting stories. I'd love to get into all that. So let's get to it. Linkinwitrobby. So dude hit me in my DM, right? And I'm just like, all you niggas freak out, and that's just all it is. First off, girl, fuck him. You are now listening to Linkinwitrobby. What's up? How's everybody doing? Everybody good? Everybody having a good weekend, or had a good weekend, had a good week? How's your mindset? How's your state of mind? Are you at peace with yourself and your situation? Have you been turning up this summer? Have you really been dedicating your time to yourself? I know I've been taking care of myself. I please myself in more ways than one. I make sure of that because I don't have time to wait on another to do what I can do for myself. And that's just how the cookie crumbles. On another note, this is so random. I was just having a conversation with my best friend, right? We were just sitting on the phone or texting or whatever that is. And we were talking about a guy, like, I wouldn't call him necessarily my ex. I wouldn't call him my ex. Definitely would be more like, before my first love, a lot of guys I was interested in, they weren't too serious. But anyways, I was in 9th grade. This is the boy that I gave head to in the bathroom, right? Me and him were really cool for a very long time. And fast forward, me and my best friend was talking about how he's been locked up for 15 years for sexual battery of a minor under 12. I believe there was another lewd activity charge and some more things. Of course, he was put on a sex registration list. He got sentenced to 15 years incarceration and 15 years of probation. You know me, being me. I had to pull up his records. I had to go into the prison inmate information database, Florida database, for all that. I love going into that stuff. So if you ever locked up, I'm going to know why, and I'm going to know when you're getting out. I'm going to know every little detail down to what time your hearing was. I'm going to get all into all that. So, yeah, I pulled up his charges and everything. I see he had just got his child, had just redid his picture just a few months ago. Look at him. But damn, prison be aging, y'all. Ugh. Homeboy looked old. But outside of that, it was just the conversation of, dude, you were so young and you let this happen to you. Why? And all I could think is, one, what he did was wrong. Two, I hope he got some help for himself. I don't like speculating too much, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's had some challenges or experiences with himself. Maybe somebody took advantage of him when he was a child or young, under age. And maybe that could be the reason why he's interested in the things he's interested in. I don't know, it was such a crazy thing because we were talking about how we see people that we were growing up with or whatever. And then sometimes, I see some people that grow up, they got businesses, they got families, they are a full functioning adult. And then there's some people I see who are the exact opposite. They strung out on Molly, dope, whatever the case may be. They in and out of jail. They homeless, living on the street. They prostituting so they can get some Otina. It's crazy work out there. And I try my best to stay humble because I can easily be in one of their shoes. But sometimes you do have to remind a bitch that I'm not you, So I try to stay humble, but it's very hard because I have to remind people that, wait, hold on, I'm not you. And never will be. You know what I mean? But the situation with the dude, like from back then, it was just like, damn, dude. I hope when you get out, your life is changing, because she was telling me that it's looking like he may be released next year. Because he only got 15 time. Yeah, he got 15 years. It's been 15 years, basically. So he should be getting out either the end of this year or next year. And he's going to have 15 years of probation, which is crazy because he has a felony. So you're not only going to be a felon where you can't really work anywhere or do anything. You're also going to be a sex offender because you're registered on the sex offender list. So you definitely limited in that area. And on top of that, you're going to be on probation. Baby, your life is over. And it's just so many details I wish I knew and understood, but no amount of details is going to explain to me or justify what's going on. So there's no point of even dabbling into that, you know what I mean? Why even go there at this point? On another note, I'm still not fucking with Jail Bay. That has not went anywhere or progressed anything. Since the last episode, which was dedicated to most of his bullshit, we've had some talkings and dealings since then, and still it kind of basically went even left further. So like, because he was under some impression that I was going to apologize for some shit. The fuck? I'm not finna apologize. I didn't do anything wrong. You was being a slimy ass nigga that was trying to sneak behind and pick up leftover scraps. That was you. What am I apologizing for? You want me to apologize because you didn't know that the dude you was trying to get with had feelings for me? Why the fuck should I apologize for that? You not my nigga. It's just a sign of respect that you sitting up here trying to go behind my back and fuck with something close to me. Fuck with something you met through me. That is the issue. But we got into that last week. I'm not going to get into that this week. You feel me? No need to do all that. So I'm not going to do it.
Child. Anyway, so.
Okay, so this is the part of the episode where you already know what happens. It's the gay shit. It's the gay shit segment. When we talk about gay shit and people doing gay shit with other people doing gay shit. It's just a gay shit segment. So first on the docket that we have to get into is that the content creator Kels, I call him Kels. I mean, I guess it's Kel Voger. That's his actual Instagram name. He posted, right? He posted like this little video of him at a concert, at a game. I don't know where he was at. He was at some type of event. And on the right of him and on the left of him was two different old white dudes. Mind you, he is young, black, and fine. And it was just so funny because it was like, okay, get to the bag with your sugar daddies because we see you. We see what you're doing. And it was just so funny because it was like, I wish I could do it. But I just cannot lay with anyone from the Caucasus Mountain. When it comes to white men, and nothing against you guys are amazing, great, keep it up. When it comes to being sexually attracted to y'all, not so much. I've never had a day where I was like, that white man makes me want to do something. It's just never happened. Never happened. I don't know a day no, never happened. Yeah, I like a nice, strong black man, light skin even. But when we get into the pale or even pink territory, my stomach turns and my dick shrivels up and my hole clenches. Like, my hole just clenches up. Like, I just don't see myself being able to ever be attracted to them. Even when I've gone to like bathhouses or events where there's sexual activity going on, when the guys from the Caucasus Mountains touch me or come near me, everything just kind of like dies. My body just goes into a state of shock, and it's like, oh my gosh, it touched you, and I just lose all interest. I'm just not attracted. I'm just not, and I feel like if I'm just not. But I have people that are able to go, get the bag from the white men, and I salute them, because if only I could, I would. I just can't. I can't fake it for the bag. If I could, again, I would. I just don't know how that would be plausible for me. I wouldn't be able to perform. Maybe if I just got to offer conversation, I could do that. But if anything sexual happens, I'm stuck. Now maybe they get me drunk. I don't know. We're leaning too far in the taking advantage area. I don't want to do too much. We just got through the Diddy trial, so I'm not going to think that would be appropriate. Not in the slightest.
Okay. Whatever that means.
Next on the docket list, I saw Gay Magazine post some content that really stood out to me, and honestly, it's relevant a little bit for myself, because it's basically a video where a guy's basically saying every straight man that's nice to you doesn't like you. So even though you're a gay man, I know we've gotten to a place where we're so jaded about straight men that we think straight men, when they're just gonna automatically hate us or be evil to us. There are some decent straight men out there that don't give a fuck about what you do, and the last thing they're going to do is judge you or come at you wrong or disrespect you in any way or gay bash you. And they may be respectful to you. They could be even kind, nice, cordial, all that. That does not mean they want you. I am not one of those people, and I'm choosing my words wisely because I really want to say fucktards, but I'm not one of those gay men that just assumes every fucking straight man is Trade, and oh my god, Trade trying to holler, Trade trying to get at me. I don't think like that. I just don't, because I actually have good relationships with a lot of straight men, and I've never crossed the line. They've never crossed the line. They never made me feel uncomfortable for being who I am, and I've never made them feel uncomfortable about me being who I am, because my sexuality has nothing to do with our friendship. Simple as that. I do know there's a lot of men, I do have friends that they see stuff like that, or they'll see me be friends with someone. Like, okay, for example, my photo shoots that I do and I get them done by a photographer friend of mine who I went to school with in college. And for all signs and purposes, for everything I know, he's heterosexual. He's always said that. So I've never had a problem with being around him because he's never made me uncomfortable about who I am. Now, there's so many people that see him take my pictures, or they see me and they be like, oh, who that is, or who do your pictures? Oh, They automatically start judging. They don't even say anything sometimes. They just give like a little slick remark like, oh, I know what you do on photo shoots, and ooh, he be seeing you like that. And I be like, no, honestly, him being straight makes me more comfortable to do the shit. because I don't have to worry about a guy looking at me or wanting to touch on me. So yeah, I do believe he's straight. We don't have any issues. He's never made me feel uncomfortable in any slight way. He's never made me feel like, oh my gosh, he's trying to hit on me. He's never made me feel any of that. He's really cool. He's a great guy. He just happens to be straight. And I think so many people get tied up in, like I said, the jadedness and the negativity that comes with straight men and gay men interactions, that a lot of us are guarded. And so when we do see somebody nice, we just assume this must be something sexual. This must be something flirtatious or lustful, when it could just be a cool ass dude. And that's just an issue that I feel like a lot of us as gay men, straight men, or anybody needs to get past. Because it's the same thing I could say to a straight man. Like, every gay man don't want you. There's so many straight men that are like, oh, this guy, he's looking at me. Oh, he gonna try. Like, I dealt with that a lot in high school. A lot of the times in high school, because I was like the only out kid, a lot of people just assumed I would want they janky ass. And I would have to let them know, look, you and them dirty ass Reeboks that you got on could never have an ounce of me. You wouldn't be able to smell or sniff me, let alone touch me. How dare you think because you're straight and you got a dick and a pair of balls that I would want your stank, shitty drawers ass? Never would. I had to clear it real quick. Never would. Never would want that. I'm not one of them. And they have this misconception that we want to turn them out. Baby, I don't turn nothing out. If you're not already interested, if you're not already trying to jump on this side, this side plot, what we talking about? What we doing? Because I'm not interested, boo. I'm not going to approach you. I'm not going to try you. That's not how I move. It's just not safe to even do that type of stuff. So let alone, why would I do that? You know what I mean? Like, no. And I've never been a DL nigga that just loves dating DLs. I've never been the type that was just always about trade. Never been me. I typically avoid those kinds because that comes with a headache that I don't like. And I don't want a headache. It's enough of them already with dudes in general. The last thing I want to do is get with a dude with an identity crisis. No. Not so you can be trying to figure out if you want to fuck me or his baby mama. I don't have time for that. And it may be cute to you guys because y'all feel like y'all got, I don't know, some traditional idea of what a man is. But no, I'd rather my nigga comfortable with who he is and whatever that is, whether he's gay, pans, or bi, or whatever. I want him to be comfortable with who he is when he with me, so I can be comfortable with who the fuck I am when I'm with him. And we can be comfortable together as a couple, not living in shame and terror. That's not fun. You feel me? But yeah, that was something I did see about that. And I just had to touch on that because I really had to get into that. And then, let me see. It's so funny because another article posted by Gay Magazine, right? Not even an article, basically a post they had regarding episode from a podcast by Michelle Obama and her brother. And they basically just spoke about, the importance of men having gay friends in their circle. He emphasized how these friendships can foster empathy, kindness, and serve as meaningful role models within communities. Okay, here's the quote from actual Barack, because, oh my God, Barack is so fucking great. Only he would think like this, like his fucking mind. He says, and I quote, "Men need a gay friend to show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group. So if you then have a boy who is gay or non-binary or what have you, they have someone that can go, okay, I'm not alone in this." A lot of this is really just about inclusion. It's about inclusion. And because of how society is, gay men have lived forever. A lot of people want to believe they just not popped up over the last 5 years, but they've been here forever. And a lot of straight dudes aren't comfortable with us. But if they befriend us, they actually give us a chance. They actually get to know us. They can see we're not that much different. And then the society will be better, because then the society will be able to move forward. When new kids are brought into the situation, new kids are born and growing up in this world, sexuality is no longer like a controversial topic. Like, it's no longer, sexuality is not so taboo that it's not discussed in a normal matter setting. Like, it's so looked at as like, oh my gosh, don't talk about your sexuality unless you are straight. Like, you know what I mean? It should just not be like that. It should be like, it shouldn't have to have a come out party. It shouldn't be this big culture shock when somebody decides they are, you know, they finally identify as gay or whatever. You know what I mean? It should not cause all that friction. And I think the way that we can build our society is starting with us. And that's just my 2 cents on that. I'm not going to go too far into that because I've talked a lot already. So let me move on to the next docket. You feel me? Okay. So let's get into Ask Robbie, a segment where I get some questions from a Reddit thread, Ask Gay Bros, where basically people just ask random questions and they need advice. I'm going to do 2 questions today, and then I'll get into the main topic. First question is, how many of you would feel comfortable dating a sex worker? He goes on to say, I'm just curious. I'm looking to start dating now, but I'm not sure what my chances would be as a prostitute. Any advice would be helpful. Okay. All right. So I'm going to name you. I'm going to name you Sean. Yeah, Sean. You sound like a Sean. So, Sean, I'm not comfortable dating somebody actively doing sex work, but it really depends on the details of the sex work. As somebody who's done OnlyFans and content creating and stuff, I could date somebody that's also doing OnlyFans. I think where I would draw the line is if, even with OnlyFans, there would have to be some stipulations, you know what I mean? But where I would draw the line is, honestly, you wouldn't be able to just be, you know, escorting live action sets with clients and stuff like that. I think I would draw the line there, only because I feel like we're opening up too many doors. And that's why it would be stipulations even with the OnlyFans, because that alone could open up a door. Like, doing OnlyFans, sure, but you're going to have to do solo content, and if you do have somebody in your content, it's going to be me. You feel me? And if it is going to be somebody else in there, I'm going to approve of it. I'll be filming right there. You know what I mean? Not your own little side quest. You won't be doing your own content and stuff like that with nobody else collabing, because it's too much close to cheating to me. And then with prostitution, I've dated people that have escorted in the past. I've dated people that have sold it in the past. I'm not comfortable with dating them while they're doing it. It makes me feel very uncomfortable. It really just, it tugs at an insecurity I got. And I'm not confident in myself enough to even put myself in a predicament where I would have to make somebody decide to stop doing that because they're dating me. I would just remove myself from the equation. So I would never date somebody that's actually doing like that type of field research, you know what I mean? like I said, it would have to be some stipulations. It would have to be some limitations as far as what they will be able to do and get away with without me feeling uncomfortable. And that goes both ways. I wouldn't be able to be, well, I don't do sex work like that. I mean, OnlyFans is as far as it goes. And even OnlyFans, I wouldn't be making content with other people and just dropping it without my spouse's approval or their involvement. That's just how I am. I move as a unit. I don't move selfishly, especially when I'm in a relationship. So it just depends. And when we say dating, I'm not talking exclusively, because once we get exclusive, I don't feel like I should tell you to stop all that stuff. So when I meet you and we start dating, I'll be making my decisions then before we even get somewhere serious, because I don't know if it's going to be a problem before we even start being exclusive. Trust me. I don't know. And for the next question and last question before I get into the main topic. The whole point of sexy underwear is to be seen and appreciated by a partner. I've acquired quite a collection of briefs, jocks, thongs, and matching tanks and tees that I break out specifically for when I'm entertaining company. Do you all invest in sexy underwear? What are some of your favorite brands? Okay. All right, Tommy. That's what I named you, Tommy. And not the crazy one from TV. Or the one that doesn't have a job. Or Tommy Pickles, for those who know. Well, Tommy, I do love sexy underwear, and I like a nigga that will wear sexy underwear. Oof. It's something about a jock strap or a thong making the ass just sit up right, and then how the dick just hangs in the underwear in the front. Ooh, it turns me on. So sometimes I do pull it out, but I know everybody's not turned on by it, so I don't wear it for everyone. I pick and choose based on who I think it will turn on. Like if I know this guy may like some thongs, I'm gonna wear a thong. If I know this guy may like jock strap, I'm gonna wear a jock strap. If I know this guy preferred briefs, I'm gonna wear that. You know what I mean? Or if this guy preferred me to be free balling, I'm a free ball with some gym shorts. So I really base it on who I'm dealing with, who I'm working with. But I definitely do invest in sexy underwear. And honestly, I need to buy some more. I used to go on Macy's all the time and get me some Calvin or whoever I was getting off of there. I'm not sure. I think Ralph Lauren and stuff. I need to go back into all that. I lost a lot of my clothes. I need to get my underwear back up. But yes, I do invest in sexy underwear. Just a few months ago, I had bought me a new pair of underwear. I had like a new black thong and I think like this pink and what would I say, mint and pink type of jock thingamajig that I thought was cute. And I like going to the stores. Like this gay store called Mojo Man where I can go here and get swimwear and underwear. I like going there, trying it on. The workers always want you to come outside and show them off in front of you. It's always crazy. Gay men are so amazing. We have our ways, boy, don't we? I tell you what. But yeah, I definitely believe in wearing sexy underwear. Shit, surprised me. I'm the type that like be surprised. Like, I love a dude that would just pop out of nowhere and I didn't know he even had that on underneath, or he just decides to wear it. And I'm just like, okay, I like what you got going on. And likewise, I like to do the same thing for a dude. I like to pop out and surprise him with that on, and he just be like, oh shit, yeah, come get you some. You know what I mean? Like, I used to buy a lot of Andrew Christians. Oh my God, I used to love buying Andrew Christian underwear. I gotta really get back in my bag. Boy, why y'all let me fall off so bad? I gotta step my underwear game right back up. I've been meaning to get me some Adonis underwear, some Carter wear. I want some of his. I definitely like his. Shit, I just like watching him wear the underwear. To be honest, I'm just gonna buy it out of support. But honestly, I just like looking at him in them. He be looking good as fuck. Which is most of the time. Like, these dudes be looking so good in the underwear. Oh my God, maybe I got an underwear fetish because this is so sexy. Ooh. I love those sexy underwear that make the body just look like, It's just something about that ass. You know I love ass. I can't help it. Okay, so our main topic today is cruising, right? So first off, I've been cruising plenty of times, but have you been cruising? Okay. And for the ones who don't know what the fuck cruising is, let's get into the nitty gritty. Let me pull out the good old Urban Dictionary. Y'all know my good Judy. Okay, here it goes. It says here in Urban Dictionary, a person who cruises is usually checking out someone they may already be interested in, or roaming the clubs and other venues looking for someone, usually for anonymous sex or possibly even drugs. If accompanied by a cruise may involve hours of mindless party hopping while under the influence. All these are just various examples. But the one I'm focusing on is the one when they said, looking for someone in random clubs and venues, usually for anonymous sex. Now, Cruising is something that dates back years because gay men had to live in the closet, right? So when they made their decision, when they did anything freaky or sexual, a lot of times they had to go pick up somebody somewhere. So they would frequent these bars and locations and places and run into other gay men in public places, and they would kind of go from there. Now, here's the cool part. Here is the cool part. Looking back for years, I never would have thought I would ever be into cruising, right? Never would have thought it. It never crossed my mind. Honestly, I didn't know nothing about it for a long time in my life. For a lot of my years growing up, I knew nothing about cruising. That was something new to me, something that I really had not dabbled in or knew anybody that did or partaked in. I got introduced to that through Mr. Johnson. Mr. Johnson took me cruising for the first time, and I was addicted for a while. Like, oh my gosh, I love this thrill, this chase, whatever the case may be. But it got bored and tired after a while as well. Now, what I do know is for a long time that I am a bit of a voyeur, which means I do kind of like seeing people have sex, and I do kind of like being seen having sex, but in a consentful manner. Like, I don't believe in just putting people in uncomfortable positions where they have to, partake in something unless I know consensually they're into it or there's signs. So when it comes to cruising, right, there are certain signs, there are certain things that happen and take place for you to know that the other party is interested. Now, here's the first time story for me. I was in college, and at the time I was living at home, and I had to ride the bus all the way to the other side of town to go to school. I did this every morning, got up like around 6 o'clock, called the bus, went to school, boom. On this ride, and it wasn't the first time, on this ride I noticed there was a guy that would go to the same school as me, right? And he would watch me all the time. I wasn't sure what it was about. One morning on the way to school, the bus was empty, it was just him and me. He was sitting across from me on the other side. So if I'm sitting on the left side of the bus, he's sitting on the right side of the bus across from me. I keep seeing him in the corner of my eye grabbing on himself and massaging himself. You can tell he was massaging his head. He was really playing with his head and trying to get my attention. Me never experiencing anything like this, I don't know what to do. So I'm just looking, because at the time I have a boyfriend. So I'm just looking at this happen to the right of me, and I'm like, what am I supposed to do about this older dude? Because he was older at the time. Older dude playing with himself right now on the slide. And so I didn't do anything. I just sat there. And when he realized I was watching and not say anything, he actually pulled it out. I didn't know if I was turned on or grossed about it. And that's when I realized I'm into stuff like that. I wasn't into him because he was not attractive, but I think the idea that was happening was kind of turning me on in some freaky, kinky way. Oh my God, I'm so freaked out. In some weird way, it was turning me on. I didn't act on it. I didn't go exchange numbers with him. I didn't say anything. I didn't do anything. But in the back of my mind, I was like, with the right person, that would have been hot. That would have been hot as fuck. Wow. And that's when I realized, like I said, I'm into voyeuristic stuff. Voyeurism is when you're basically like being watched or you want to watch other people have sex. And public sex plays a role into that because you're having sex in public with the thrill of being caught. Now here's the thing, because it's very close. It's whoo, it can really go wrong very well. So it's why I don't do it casually. It's why I don't just do it anywhere. When my ex introduced me to cruising, he basically broke it down to me like, you go to these spots, and you go to these spots that you know everybody's going to be at. So what happens is, at the time, we would get on Twitter or we would get on that app and we would see where a lot of people are at. Based on that, we would go there, scope the scene out, see the type of vibe it is, because there is this one part that we got here. I'm not going to say the name of the part. It's a couple parts, but it's one part that we got here where there's a wooded area. It's a lot of places you can go. It's a trail and everything that you can go on. And we was on the trail, and yeah, people was getting off on the trails. I've had some good times cruising. A lot of time we just walked and nothing happened, but we walked, and sometimes we seen stuff. We did link up with a group of guys one time, and we all did a circle jerk. Like, that type of stuff happens at cruising spots. Usually there's like a circle jerk and sometimes some fucking going on. That day we mainly just circle jerked. I don't think, yeah, we did get fucked. Yeah, me and my dude got fucked at the circle jerk. I think we was the only one. We was turning that party out, baby, because not only was we circle jerking, he was sucking some dude dick. I was getting my ass ate. Next thing you know, we both was getting fucked. We all got our phones out and doing content because this during the pandemic, so everybody was making content, like, for real back then. It was a magical, fun experience. I recommend it 10 out of 10. But that's the upside to cruising. The downside is going to a good spot and not getting arrested. I know you guys have seen the stories where, matter of fact, there was just a story just maybe like a few months ago. I'm not sure how long ago it was. I don't feel like doing the research. I'm very lazy right now. I'm very, very lazy this weekend, so I'm not doing the research. There was a study or a story. A study. What the fuck am I talking about? There was a story where a dude was cruising, asked a dude if he was down, tried to reach and grab his dick. Come to find out the dude was an undercover cop. So when he tried to reach and grab his dick, the dude arrested him. And now he charged on the sex registration list. And now he got to be a sex offender for the rest of his days because he did that. When he wasn't following the rules. Now, like I was saying, there are rules. So when you at a cruising spot, you walk in, you see somebody else walking, right? Y'all give each other eye contact. That's not enough. Keep walking past them. See what happens. Do they follow you? If they keep following you, you allow them to follow you. Now, it's very tricky because you could be tricking yourself into a situation like dude was. You could end up with an undercover easily. The trick is to allow them to make the first move. That way, when they go and do whatever they do, okay, I'm comfortable enough to join in. Don't just jump off the ledge and just automatically whip your dick out or start doing something crazy, and you don't even know if this dude is into it or what he doing. He may not be following you, so you have to make sure he's actually following you. So that means you slow down a little bit. You see if they slow down. You see when you make this corner on that corner, do they go that way or whatever. Keep looking back. See if they grab it on themselves. Are they massaging themselves? That's usually a dead giveaway. When a dude is literally grabbing on his balls or putting his hand in his pockets and you can see where he's really touching on. Those are signs when you know, okay, they down to cruise. Also, you just want to go through the body language and read the room. Even if you're outside, read the fucking room. You know if a dude is really into you. You know if a dude is trying to get fucked or if you want to fuck you, you know. If he come up to you and he start grabbing on your dick, you already know what's up. If you got clothes on, like sweats or whatever like that, that's typically what you'll wear at a cruising spot. You're gonna wear sweats or gym shorts. If you walking and a dude come up to you and walk behind you and touch on your ass, you know what's up. A dude walk up on you, grab on your dick, you know what's up. That's usually the dead giveaway for cruising. And now we have stuff like Sniffies, which is like, it's like an app, but it's really not an app because it's like a website that you can go on, and it's mainly dedicated to escorting and cruising spots. Mainly everybody on there is literally, nobody's on there to have fun and have friends. They're all on there to get fucked. They actually have locations. They let you know where the cruising spots are at. They let you know where everybody else is at that same location. It gives you all the details. So you know right off the bat, when you open it up and you're going through and you scrolling the areas, you can see the hot cruising spots. Okay, so everybody's cruising at this mall today, or everybody's cruising at this park today, or everyone's at this bar. You can see what's going on. And the best times to choose it is during Gay Pride Week, when everybody's in town, or when there's some type of event going on in the city, when the whole city is filled with people. That's the best time to do it, because you're going to run into a lot of people traveling who don't mind cruising. I, again, recommend it 10 out of 10. Just be safe about it, because I know you guys have seen the onslaught of content creators who do public content. I be flabbergasted, because I be like, how the fuck are you guys getting away with it? Because I would love to partake in some of that. I would make more public content if I wasn't afraid of making public content. Y'all just seen dude who did not know he was going to be recorded, pulled up to the drive-thru window, stroking on his dick. The girl was at the window recording him. He freaked out and unalived himself shortly after, because he had been exposed for being some cruiser, gooner, baiter. I have to get into gooning and baiting on the next episode, but he was just so ashamed and embarrassed. So phones do change some things when it comes to cruising. So you want to be careful. That's why these sniffy spots are good, but I'm pretty sure it's just a matter of time before the feds and stuff start locating these spots and locating these apps and resources we use to connect with each other and start infiltrating them. It's just a matter of time, to be honest. It really is. You know, I'm drinking XXL right now, and it's just delightful. Honestly, I can say I do prefer the strawberry and the blackberry over the mango, because the mango has not been treating me well, in my opinion. It's been giving me a lot of headaches. I don't usually get no headache when I drink wine, but this wine be giving me a headache, so I won't be buying this flavor no more. Now, getting arrested is not the only thing that can happen after cruising or during cruising. You can get unalived. You can get hurt. You can get assaulted. Because back in the day, a lot of times that's what used to happen. Guys would run out to a park to meet up with some guys, and it'll be a setup, and then they'll get jumped by a bunch of dudes or unalived. That can happen. That can really happen. You could think, like me and my ex, Mr. Johnson, once again, we used to be at a hotel room. We used to stay at a hotel room, right? We lived at one. And sometimes we'll be on some freak shit, and he'll stand in the doorway. We'll turn off all the lights in the room so it'll be dark. And he'll stand in the doorway stroking his meat, butt booty naked. It used to be so fucking sexy to me, by the way. Oh my God. Watching his ass while he's standing up there facing away from me, stroking his long dick. Oh my God. Whew. He used to be doing that, and that used to turn me on, and it used to be so exciting. I never felt bold enough to stand up there, but I used to love when he would do it. That shit was so hot. But that could have easily been a dangerous situation. He could have been doing that, and a nigga could have saw him and would have thought something crazy and would have tried to kill us and rob us. You know what I mean? Or rape us. Things like that can happen. So people do need to be careful when they are doing this stuff. I'd be more afraid of the legal outcome, because I feel like a lot of people get put on the sex offender list now from lewd activity and lewd behavior and indecent exposure and shit, all kind of crazy stuff. Hell, it can easily become a crime. You don't want to be sitting next to the guy that is going around neighborhoods jacking off over people when they're asleep. You know what I mean? Breaking into people's homes to jack off on them. You don't want to be sitting next to him all because you decided to go to a mall and you in the bathroom in the stall and you beating your dick off hoping somebody gonna come in your stall. You just don't want to take those chances. I did when I was younger, but as I'm older, I'm a little afraid of jail. So I'm a little hesitant with it. That's why I like to choose specific places like Hank's. Although Hank's has been raided multiple times, it's a little bar we have here in Orlando where you can go and you could just sit in the parking lot and stroke your meat, smoke your blunt, chill out, no problem. Cruise, you feel me? Or you can go to places where you know it's going to be a lot of people there. Go in the parking lot, get ducked off, cruise, chill out, sit back, stroke your meat. That's what it be about. It's all about just chilling, vibing, and masturbating. Which is why I'm going to have to get into gooning and baiting next episode. I usually don't tell y'all in advance what I'm doing next episode, but I'm kind of getting the flow of things, so I want to make sure I'm flowing correctly. So yeah, next episode I am going to touch more on gooning and baiting, which is a whole different thing that doesn't require you to leave your house, but it's a lot more to it. But back to cruising. Yeah. I've been a voyeur. Me and my ex, we have done a lot of things and have been seen by a lot of his friends. Let's just put it like that. We've had sex sometimes in the other room and made sure they can hear us. We've left a door cracked, left a door open so they can walk by and see us. And they would join in. You know what I mean? It would be like that would be the hint to say, hey, come join in, boo. Or we'll text them and say, hey, come walk by right now. Or come to the kitchen. They'll come to the kitchen and they'll see. Yeah, there's some things we done did. It's some freaky shit I done learned and some freaky shit I've done in my cruising days. And I'm not done with it. Once I get back, once I really get back on my feet and I'm mobile and I'm moving around traveling again, oh yeah, I'm going to do some cruising. Best believe that. You think I'm going to be in Atlanta and I ain't for the cruise? You think I'm for to go to Miami and I ain't for the cruise? Boy, please. I'm for the cruise like a carnival cruise. I'm for the cruise like the Royal Caribbean. I'm going to cruise like, I was going to say Disney, but I think that's inappropriate. But yes, I'm going to do those things. Now, I'm not bold enough to be cruising in no airports because people do be cruising in airports because I just feel like that's too close to federal for me, federal territory, and I don't want to, I don't like federal crimes. I don't like committing federal crimes. I don't like almost committing federal crimes, but yeah, if you into cruising, ain't shit wrong with that. Cruising is cool. You just got to play your role. Keep it cute and vibe out. Don't do too much and read the fucking room, even if you ain't in the room. I did not have to drink that wine like that, but I had to get it down. And sometimes you just need to just swallow. Don't taste. Don't contemplate. Just swallow. You know how TDJ said, have you ever been swallowed? I'm fucking dumb, bro. At this point, I'm just talking shit and just saying shit. Honestly, like, I think I need to cruise again. I might do that in the next week or so. I'm going to go cruising. I'm going to go cruising. See if I can bring somebody with me. Say, let's go cruising. Let's go do something. Let's go check the scene out. See what's really given. I don't know. Who's to say? I might just go to Hank's and just chill and smoke. Not that much exciting. You know what I mean? Kind of boring. But I might do it. Who's to say? But anyways, that's mostly everything I have to say as far as cruising goes. Like, I say if you've never done it, try it one time. Just try it one time. Keep it safe. Don't do nothing too crazy. Just try to give it a chance to see if it's something that you feel is either too much or up your alley. You never know. You might fucking find out you got a new kink you never knew you had. Trust me, that's how it's been for me. It's been a few things I was like, wow, didn't know I liked that, but I like it. Told you, like the dude on the bus showed me. I was like, wait a minute, I like shit like this. Would I ever do shit like this? No. But I like this shit. Like, if you were to go through my bookmarks on Twitter, or see the people I follow on OnlyFans, or look at my Pornhub history, ooh, you will see some public stuff. You will see some public scenes, because there's something about a public scene that just gets me rock hard, concrete, cement, all that. I think I done said enough, though, y'all. I honestly think I've said enough. At this point, I'm just rambling like I just fucking said. Alright, y'all. And on that note, I did enjoy myself talking to you today. I hope you enjoyed yourself. And if you did, come back next Wednesday. Every Wednesday after that. Tune in to what I gotta say. And yeah, just keep linking with Robbie.